Hi, this is Jenny, the inner organizer again, and today we're going to talk about the topic of love. Now, there's so many topics related to love and relationships, and we're not going to be able to get to all of them. Today, I want to focus on using organization on your side to change your love life. I know you're thinking, how do you do that? Well, I don't mean just, changing the clutter in your space, which can help. But we're going to use time as our friend and as our advocate to bring back our love life. So the first date that I think is so important that you need to spend time every week with yourself. So this is sort of a me time date. So this is a time where you can run errands without the kids pulling on your shirt tails, mommy, or daddy. This is a time where you can go read a book at Starbucks without interruption. This is your time to take a bath and have a glass of wine if you can keep your little people away from you. But this is a me time date. The thing is, if we are not refreshed, it makes it harder for us to show up and be really gracious and lovely and sweet to our partner. So I think it's really important that both partners in the relationship get a me time date that they both know is coming. It's on both of their schedules. And for the most part, they use the same day or same night every week unless something came up in their schedule, and then they just adjust. The second date that you would do together is called the internal date night. And then, a lot of people think, oh, we have to spend so much money, we have to go out, we have to do all this. And really that is not the case. You can actually stay at home. That's where most people are comfortable anyway. So this may mean putting your kids to bed, to rest, to read, to play games quietly for half an hour or so earlier, so that the couple can spend time together, whether that's, cooking a meal together, cooking a dessert together, if that's what floats your boat, or sitting on your back deck, or playing a game, watching a movie together. I mean, the list is endless, really, of all the things that you could do at home. Dun, dun, dun. There's some exciting ones too. The other kind of date night is an out-in-the-world date night, and I want to encourage you to have a date night just with yourselves. People get very little time with each other. They've done studies on this, the daily time that married people communicate together is anywhere between 14 and 18 minutes. I don't know about you, but some people work out longer than they're actually talking to their mate. I think that's a very short period of time. And so I feel like if you have short periods of time, let's make it quality. So I want to encourage you to have an out in the world date night and make it quality. The way you make it quality is each person makes a list of 10 things of their ideal, fun, favorite date, okay? And the planning doesn't fall on one person's shoulder. So one date this person picks, the next date this person picks, this person picks, this person picks. It alternates. So nobody has all the pressure of being the go-to person, because that can cause a lot of resentment I've seen in relationships. The next kind of date night is sort of a life logistics, okay? I know, I couldn't think of anything sexier, but this is if you have a landscaping project, or you want to organize your garage, or you're trying to, do anything around the house. Instead of doing a flyby in the hallway and trying to have this conversation where things can get fandangled, it's really important. Sit down, make a date, and say, hey, this is what we're going to do with our time. This is how we're going to map out the month. This is what we kind of want to do on our Saturdays or Sundays. And so that everybody gets what on the same page. That's a logistical thing, but it can change the way that people interact. The next thing is called Show Me the Money Date. And I learned this from a great friend of mine and her husband. And they started this when they got married, and I thought it was brilliant. They dressed up in their suits, in business wear. She was more casual, but it didn't matter. He was in a suit every day. She was wearing her business wear. They would meet at Starbucks, and they would come with a prepared agenda to talk about the items related to their budget. So that if they had an agenda, they could stay focused, stay and complete the task. They were in a neutral location, so they felt comfortable, and they weren't going to have a big fight in the middle of Starbucks, which I thought was really brilliant. So Show Me the Money Date is really important, because people can get kind of excitable about money. But I think that if you have a date out in public and you have an agenda, you're going to treat it just like business. And you're going to compartmentalize and put the emotions over here. Doesn't mean you won't have them, but maybe you behave and act differently. So this is helpful for a lot of couples. Now, I do have some couples that have a big porch and they have big rockers and they have their show me the money date on their porch with coffee. So that's fine too. Every couple is different. You have to do what works for you. And then let's see. And then you have the sexy intimacy date. I saved the best for last. So a lot of couples complain to me that they just don't have enough time to have sexy conversations or to be intimate or to be sexy. Everything feels rushed. They've got little people knocking on the door. So this is the thing. You have to make this time work for you. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a traditional sexy time, okay? A lot of people think night, but it doesn't have to be that way. If it works best for two parents' schedule to have their intimacy date at noon on a Tuesday, that is fine. It just needs to work for you. And what I tell people is forced laughter creates spontaneous laughter. So even if you're just, massaging each other's arm or tickling each other's arm or just laughing, a lot of times spontaneous intimacy will create, forced intimacy, like touching, saying, hey, I'm going to be deliberate about rubbing my partner. Then things just kind of happen on their own. So whatever happens, that's between the two of you. So those are the dates. And the thing is, you schedule all these dates in over the course of a month in advance. So there's no last minute babysitting issues, unless of course that's with the babysitter. But this gives you the ability to plan in advance your whole next 2 weeks, your next month of dealing with your money, dealing with your stuff, dealing with your insurance, dealing with the sexy, and having time for yourself. So I'm sorry if I got a little long-winded, but it's really important to take, in my opinion, take your dating back. Because if you don't date each other, you will date somebody or something else. So have fun dating. Put it in your calendar. Start tomorrow.